go. Oh. So I have to take a little bit more out. Well, let's go smash his face.
Sarah, Lane, what are you reading?
A book found us. It's a pastoral, though a rare post-surge work that incorporates light references to magic.
And with that, welcome back to part 15 of Eternal Strands. Last time we ended up figuring out what happened to the runners and that the Hearthsiders are in dire straits. We ended up being able to upgrade the camp, and now we need to talk to everybody in the camp before continuing on.
You know, there's one silver lining to the sad tale of our deceased runners.
What's that?
We know the Hearthsiders still have some advanced production capabilities. The materials they were gathering don't have much use for basic survival. Therefore, weapons, armor, and enchantments.
Any concerns about us claiming them?
None. They've been there long enough. Scavenger etiquette applies. These kinds of materials are too rare to let go to waste.
The Half-Siders are scavenging their own city. Things must be dire.
I'm worried about them after that particular discovery.
You've a kind heart, Bryn. Though I'll stick to worrying about us, if you don't mind.
Talk.
A shame to lose such prodigious runners. They were really very good.
The Hearthsiders have had it harder than any of us expected.
Worrying. Still, we'll carefully store and catalogue all their finds. Least we can do.
Alright, Lane has nothing to say.
Hey, Bryn. Sorry I got carried away with our errands.
It's okay, Kaz. What was going on with that, though? Are you alright?
Yeah. Sometimes there's so much to do, it's hard to keep my head on straight.
Maybe you should take a day to relax. Our ongoing disaster isn't going anywhere.
I don't know how anyone relaxes in here. What about you?
Me?
Yeah. What do you do to relax?
I've always just turned to writing or drawing to process my feelings.
Oh. What do you write about?
Everything. What I see on expeditions, our band's discoveries, conversations like this.
You write about our conversations? Are they all that important?
Sure. Why not? It just helps to get it all down on the page.
That actually sounds nice.
When all else fails, a nap always helps too.
For Ashar, maybe. As a Kashar, I don't need as much sleep as the rest of you.
Sure. But you need some kind of break from time to time, Kasmin.
I'll think about it. Our supply runners might be why there are so many crates gathered around the city.
Why do they reappear, though?
Dom and I have a theory. The arcs might still be partially functioning.
So, when they're not trying to kill me, they tidy up the place?
Like I said, a theory. But that was a big part of what they were built to do.
Alright, and last person to talk to, then we're going to do a glass tail hunt if one is up.
Hey, Bryn, keep an eye on Kaz for me, okay?
You're worried about her?
The last time I saw her this strung out was during her point training. I was talking to Sola the other day. It doesn't seem like she's sleeping much.
I'll let you know if I notice anything. Don't worry. I'm sure Casmin will be fine.
You're probably right. Just keep your eyes open. She seems to open up to you more than the rest of us.
Alright, let's see if
Sola
there's...
seems pretty pleased with the upgrades to her forge. I think she might want to thank you, Bryn.
Double check that, make sure no new... Yeah, no new conversation stuff happens, so... Let's see if we can find a glass tail. Arc of the Stricken, Highland Claw, that's another one that I need to take down again. Living Flame, Drake, Ice Claw. Alright. This will be an easier one. And we'll just come in from that side. So like with the Drake, I gotta take out a wing. And then get on its back while in flight to take it down. Let's just see where it lands. Oh. There we go. Oh. So I have to take a little bit more out. Well, let's go smash his face. See if I can harvest this time. Nope. So I'm guessing I might need to take out its chest too. I don't remember doing that first time when I fought it. else is connected. Is there another one on the tail? Yes. Alright. If this doesn't work, I'm just gonna have to kill it. Alright, fly away, little buddy. I genuinely don't know what's left to take out. Maybe that? Because it has to be flying. And I don't see any more strands coming off. So, oh well. I'll have to figure it out next time. Alright, let's head back to camp. And we'll complete proof of conspiracy. So I need to go to the upper spire. Oh, where's the upper spire? The upper spire and Devon from. So the spire is up there. So we'll start at the spire and see if there's another doorway then. So I would say Riverside's the closest.
Governing body.
Yeah, the ability to jump and climb in this game is not well matched. See if I can pull this off now. Yep. That makes it easy. No, sir. Can't go that way, so let's see about climbing up. No, I misread that. It's the spire in upper.
succession plan. Doing their research before enacting asylum, I'd wager. Tables with assets listed. Looks like a tabulation of supply levels. Coordination for the runners and haulers. They remained in the city for years after the surge according to these dates. Until the asylum, at any rate. Surprisingly detailed.
Invaluable. We'll have to make sure Lane adds them to our archive later.
Yeah, it looks like I'm getting to the point that I'm gonna need to upgrade all the weapons.
Okay. Sigils. Ah, found it. Our creator is listed here as Lucia Princess. 2 registered workshops, both council approved for dangerous materials. She must have had some pull before the surge. One is here in the city, and the other, let's see. I've been there. That frozen town out in Dredger's Mire. Better wear something warm.
I think it's... We run this one down, Bryn. The water clock...
Alright, so we need to head to lower and the Dredger's Mire again, but first I'm gonna upgrade my sword or my greatsword. That's a little bit better.
Going to need more feathers.
Really only upgrade with that. Okay, so then I need to start just hoarding materials to upgrade now. So Weaver's Rest in lower, and then Pondervale. We'll go to Pondervale first. So we're trying to find a workshop. There we go.
A lot of notes here. Water damage from the cold and melt, though. Let's see. Materials. That's how you visualize a pattern. Lots of marginal reads. These have to be from Lucia. She mentions a flood in the later passages.
Check her other workshop too.
We?
You! Please?
I'm on it.
Okay, now we've got to go around here. Might as well take this wolfie out. Oh, and a glass tail's in there. That's kind of the perfect mix. So we need to go Weaver's Rest and try to take out the glass tail. So I'm guessing it's all the frozen horns to take out for this guy. So let's start on the tail. Well, else is there? Maybe the side to the bed? Where is the loom mark, though? Have him stunned. Chest. Oh, it's something there. Ah, chin. Where else? I'm really not seeing any more glass shards. Unless this needs to be hit more. No. Alright, let's read the codex. Deep in the mane of its neck, however, reaching this core of their magic through their dense fur is nearly impossible, so the mane needs to be burned off. There we go. Alright. That's a pain.
Could always use more frost magic.
Alright, let's head to Rest, or Weaver's Rest now. And we're going the right direction. And we're gonna keep going this way. Must have been the wall that I'm hearing then. Oh. Alright, so we passed Weaver's Rest.
Weaver's Rest. Said to be a common place for weavers in Lowtown to gather.
Ooh.
The record said this place was registered to our enchantress of interest, Lucia. It sure doesn't look like a saboteur or smuggler's den. On the workings of Archives by L. de Crassus. Seems promising. Dom?
Certainly topical. There were references to it in those notes you found, come to think of it. Definitely bring it back. Another piece of the puzzle.
Alright, let's get out of here. Let's upgrade the frost first.
Any luck with the materials we gathered from Lucia's workshops?
Yes. I'll let Sev fill you in.
We started with the book, which was painfully dry and highly theoretical.
Unsurprising. The Enclave was notoriously tight-lipped about the construction of the arcs.
The book was still useful as it contained a number of craft-specific terms, shorthands and annotations, all critical. Referencing the book clarified the notes.
Without it, they bordered on deranged rant, especially at the end.
Sort of a window into her thinking.
We suspect Lucia spent a long time in isolation while working on these.
She covered many topics, but the most prominent was her work into the flood.
We know the Hearthsiders spent years working in Denevron after the surge. Why do we think Lucia ended up so far from the capital?
It's evident she disagreed with the leaders of the Enclave and gathered others around her who agreed. There's talk of several meetings taking place in the Maya. Most likely to be away from prying eyes.
Called her group the Verdant Minds. Very planty.
I like it. It's poetic.
Her workshop was a little brisk, even for my tastes. Any idea why?
She was fascinated with Enclave technology, specifically the dismantling, disruption, and repurposing of it.
Remember our talk about the aeroliths and how they could influence the weather? When the effect is accidentally concentrated, it can be quite intense. We suspect she was experimenting with the aerolith in relation to the floods. She predicted their start.
How do those devices I found with her mark on them tie into all of this?
In her final notes, her obsession shifted from the Enclave's leadership to the miasma flood. She was determined to find a way to stop it. On one hand, she looked to the aeroliths as a mitigation. Could they repel the miasma?
In the end, her answer was no. And so she turned to disruption. We think the arcs were tests. Could she shut them down?
And if so, could she shut down something larger?
She was clearly successful at least once. Maybe twice if we count the one outside the Veil.
Indeed, and when we're doing more general questions, that is what we must talk about.
Who exactly was Lucia? It seems like she had a lot going on.
Brilliant, but disturbed. She harbored a severe hatred of Enclave leadership, bordering on obsession.
Reams of fiercely colorful text, just to say some very rude things, especially about the Eye, their leader.
She was also, at one point, one of the most respected enchanters in the Enclave. She worked on something she refused to name, but was clearly of deep significance to the Enclave itself. Called it the source of all our problems.
Sadly, she only danced around that subject and never offered details.
All intriguing information. But we should focus on the flood. Does she have an answer for us?
Partially. This is the design.
Her research led her to one conclusion: to stop the floods. She needed to disrupt a barrier of some sort.
This confirms our theory from earlier. She's talking about the barrier established by Asylum.
Her design is detailed and specific. The device it would create inverts the flow of magic and enchanted objects, disrupting them for a time.
We think the devices we found on the arcs were prototypes, small experiments to determine efficacy and duration.
So what's the catch? If the floods are still happening, clearly she didn't build one.
Lucia's thimble, as she calls it, requires some highly specialized components. It has to withstand considerable magical flow, far more than what's produced by an arc.
It's like how mass scales exponentially. Just because you can build a scale model of an aqueduct doesn't mean the real thing can support its own weight.
Thankfully, that supply cache you found has the necessary materials to handle that kind of magical flow.
Solar can pick up where Lucia left off then.
Exactly. The other thing we'll need is a source of magical flame. Solar's mantle won't be enough by itself.
I can handle that part easily. Okay, so we have clear next steps. Just one more thing. What happened to Lucia?
The flood. Our best guess, at any rate. There's no sign of her.
All right. Let's go over everything we know so far.
We know that, for a time after the surge, civilians continued to live in Tenebron until they were forced to evacuate the city. We're still not sure the cause.
Wherever the Hearthsiders went, they're still actively sending scouting groups to scavenge for supplies. From the uniform, the creeper who was watching Bryn sleep belongs to one of these groups.
We also know that a defensive procedure codenamed Asylum sealed access to the Enclave underground. This was done using a barrier almost exactly like the Veil.
Lucia, an ex-high enchantress, opposed Asylum and began working on ways to sabotage it.
Her research forecasted that the barrier would cause the Enclave to flood with miasma. The very same flood that seems to have killed Lucia before she was able to finish her thimble.
But we have her design. It could disrupt Asylum's barrier.
So Lucia's thimble is the key to our survival.
It's less a key and more like a magical battering ram.
Whatever works.
What is it, Lane?
It's just, I've pored over all the documents we've compiled, and a concrete link between the evacuation plan and the underground is nowhere to be found. I can't shake the feeling we're missing something.
The Enclave destroyed a lot of information from their documents. Could that be why you can't find a link between Asylum and the evacuation?
I considered that. The Enclave may have hidden their location from Lucia.
Being a weaver isn't about being certain all the time. It's about taking calculated risks to carve a path forward. And regardless of the Hearthsider's location, disrupting the barrier is the only option to stop the flood.
You're right. I just hope that if we did miss something, it doesn't come back to bite us.
Even if it does, we will handle it.
That settles it. Bryn, it's time to use the thimble.
All right, and with that, we're going to call it right here. If you enjoy what you saw, hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next one.